America is not a racist country.
Until she finally stops, tries to call someone for help, and then he attacks her.
Let go of me! Let's go!
Dyker was charged criminally as well last week with felony aggravated battery and 2 counts of official misconduct.
According to the records kept by the Cook County court system, Bruce Dyker was indicted on charges of aggravated violence and official misconduct after he resigned from the Chicago Police Department after serving there for 23 years. According to the report, Bruce Dyker was seen on video taken from a cell phone as well as footage taken from his own body camera physically abusing Nikkita Brown in the Lincoln Park neighborhood of Chicago. Brown was visiting a beach along the city's lakefront after hours with her dog on a leash when she was challenged by the allegedly angry former police officer. A fresh batch of Chicago police officers graduates each year when he attacked a young black lady on a beach in Chicago. Former Chicago police officer Bruce Dyker acted in an unacceptable manner. According to John Catanzara, president of the Fraternal Order of Police, the attorney for the woman, Keenan Salter, stated in an interview with the BC7 Chicago that the incident started when Dyker ordered Brown to leave the beach because it was closed. Dyker can be heard urging Brown in the footage from the body camera to get out of the park. What exactly is it about that you do not get? The park is currently off limits. You are trespassing on city property. And if you don't take your dog with you and leave, you will be arrested and taken to jail. The resignation of a Chicago police officer comes after the officer was accused of 24 separate instances of misbehavior, including touching a black lady who was walking her dog in a park. In related news, the resignation of a Chicago police officer comes after the officer was accused of 24 separate instances of misbehavior, including touching a black lady who was walking her dog in a park. Brown tells the officer, "I feel threatened. I feel threatened." Good, is the response he gives. "If you don't keep moving, I'm going to have to put some handcuffs on you. Do you want to put my knowledge to the test?" Dyker gets a hold of the woman's arm and tries his best to hold her down. Behind talking for approximately a minute together, he eventually walks after Brown as she leaves the park, and the two of them carry on their conversation outside. Brown asserted that there were other individuals strolling on the beach at the same time as her, but that she was the only one who was targeted. According to a BC7, she stated that she believes that she was the subject of racial profiling. According to what Alter said in an interview with the BC7 Chicago, for whatever reason, this cop opted to specifically interact and then ultimately address and attack Miss Brown. The victim's counsel disclosed on June 13th to NBC Chicago that the lakefront is now rigoring due to the fact that the victim was assaulted on the lakefront. And perhaps even more significantly, she was assaulted by someone who had taken an oath to really protect her. The author writes, in a video that has gone viral, a Chicago police officer can be seen abusing a black woman who is walking her dog. The month prior, Dyker tendered his resignation from the Chicago Police Department prior to any formal disciplinary action being taken against him. According to a report by Thegrio, John Catanzara, head of the Fraternal Order of Police, stated that Dyker engaged in inappropriate behavior and resigned as a result of the public spotlight amid continuing investigations. During his service with the Chicago Police Department, there were apparently 24 complaints of misbehavior submitted against Dyker.
Now understand this.
Please respect my space.
Respect your space? I'm about to put handcuffs on you.
You do not have a mask on.
I don't need a mask. I'm outside. Understand that. We're not inside a building. Know the ordinances. The exit is that way.
Please,
you need to exit.
Please back up.
Ma'am?
Back up, ma'am. Back up.
Get
Back
out
up.
of the park!
Back up.
What do you not understand about that? The park is closed.
Back up.
You are trespassing
Back
on
up.
city property,
Back up.
and you will go to jail
Back
if
up.
you don't take your dog and leave.
Back up. Move away from me.
I'm
What the fuck
escorting
is-
you
It
out
is-
of the
this
park.
COVID, you don't have a mask.
You don't need one outside.
You're spitting on me.
I'm not spitting on
You are spitting. Back up.
Keep
What the
walking.
fuck? Back up.
Keep walking.
This is, at this point, this is an issue. You need to move away from me.
Keep
I feel
walking.
threatened.
Straight to the exit.
I feel threatened.
Good.
Back up.
I'm about to put handcuffs on
Back
you
up.
if you don't keep walking. Do
Back
you
up.
want to test me on this?
Back up. Let go of me! Let's go! Let go! Let go! Let go! Let go! Ah! Let go! I'm leaving! Let go! Get off of me! Let go!
You don't understand your
Let
situation,
go!
do you?
Let go! Let go! Get off of me!
When I
Get
tell
off of
you
me!
to exit,
Get
you
off
don't
of me!
wait until the police are about to arrest you, and then decide to comply.
Get off of me!
Do you not understand that?
Let go!
Once I put handcuffs on you, you are going to jail, and you're going to lose your dog.
Let go!
Are you going to leave the
Let
park?
go! Get off of
Are
me!
you going to
Let
leave the
go.
park?
Get off of me!
Answer my
Let
question.
go and get off me!
You're under arrest.
Stop it! I'm real. Am I not facing the direction of the park?
It's not
Am I
about
not
that. You
facing?
wait till you're about to be arrested, because
Let
then you're going to
go.
comply.
Let go of me! Let go of me! Let go of me!
Ma'am,
Let go of me!
you just don't understand the
I am
situation,
trying to
do you?
fucking leave. Get off of me! I'm trying to leave. Get off of me.
Pick up your phone.
Let go. Let go of me. Your name is what?
Officer Dyker. And
What's
yes,
your number?
19236. You want to go to jail? Stay in the park after hours.
Fuck off.
And go to jail. Yeah, I will turn my camera on.
That's fine.
Make this an official incident.
That's fine.
Now understand this.
Please respect my space. It's
Respect your
COVID.
space.
6
I'm about to
feet.
put
You do
handcuffs
not
on
have
you.
a mask on.
I don't need a mask. I'm outside.
attack her in that fashion. It was wholly unprovoked.
Attorney Keenan Salter represents the woman in that video, Nikkita Brown. Shortly after midnight on Saturday, Salter says his client, who is a black woman, was approached by a white Chicago police officer as she walked her dog at North Avenue Beach.
The officer engaged her in a discussion about leaving the park, which she was fine to do.
Now understand this.
Please respect my space. It's COVID.
Brown recorded her own video, but her camera was knocked down when for some reason the officer grabbed her. Salter says his client was the victim of racial profiling because there were other people out that night who just happened to be white.
He makes a very concerted effort to target her in a scenario where she's by herself, a woman walking after midnight.
I'm still waiting for more than a preliminary briefing. I'd like to get more facts other than the video.
Superintendent David Brown says the video may not tell the entire story and is waiting for the Bureau of Internal Affairs and the Civilian Office of Police Accountability to finish their investigations before taking any disciplinary action. The mayor calls the video straightforward and disturbing.
But I want to make sure that COPA moves this to the top of the priority list and gets this done. I think this woman deserves to have answers as to what happened.
Brown encountered him back in August while walking her dog on the lakefront. It's understood Dyker told her to leave as the beach was closed. Multiple devices caught what happened next, including newly released footage from a city pod camera.
That video, coupled with the other videos, shows her backing up about 120 to 130 feet, trying to comply with Officer Dyker's orders. We filed a 5-count civil lawsuit this morning in federal courts alleging excessive force, false arrest, and unlawful seizure.
Michael Gallagher is the attorney representing Nikkita Brown, who's
About time. You know, he has 20 years of horrendous misconduct, complaint after complaint.
That lawsuit states Dyker's had at least 24 civilian complaints lodged against him in his capacity as an officer, which include allegations of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, excessive force, false arrest, and racial bias against civilians. In many instances, Dyker was seemingly not disciplined.
This allowed him to be emboldened and almost think he could act with impunity, and that's what prompted him to attack an African-American young girl walking her dog in the middle of the night and complying with his orders, because he thought he wouldn't get in trouble.
Which he pleaded not guilty to today during his first court appearance. His lawyer, Tim Grace, telling us he was simply doing his job that night.
He gave her a verbal command. He shooed her away. She told her she couldn't be there, and she decided to ignore his lawful orders.
Adding race didn't play a role in this.
He has done this his whole career. It doesn't matter what color you are. All that matters is that you comply with the commands of the police officers.
And stating Dyker could have used further means to detain Brown, but didn't.
He was allowed to do an emergency takedown. He could have leg swept her. He could have pushed her to the ground. He was allowed to do all those things.
Dyker, meanwhile, is no longer a police officer, retiring from the force last month before any disciplinary measures could be brought against him.
He knew that he wanted to protect his pension and resigned before he was actually fired and faced discipline.
After arraignment today on those criminal charges, he was released on his own recognizance and is free to return to Texas, where he now resides, but is due back in court via Zoom in August. Brona Tumulty, WGN News.